This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the Town of North Haven.
Good evening and welcome to the January 23rd, 2024 meeting of the Board of Police Commissioners. I'm Larry Lazaroff, I'm the chairman. To my left is Bob Hannon, our vice chairman. To my right is Mark Calafiore, our secretary. Alden Mead is not here tonight, and Robin Wilson, commissioner. Tonight is a very special night as we welcome a new patrol officer to our squad. So I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome Joe Schwab to our family and his family to witness the swearing-in ceremony. With that being said, come on up, Joe. Stand over here, and you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I solemnly swear that
I solemnly swear that
I will bear true faith and allegiance to
I will bear true faith and allegiance to
the United States of America
the United States of America
and the state of Connecticut,
and the state of Connecticut,
and will support the Constitution thereof.
and will support the Constitution thereof.
I will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all duties incumbent upon me
all duties incumbent upon me
as a police officer of the town of North Haven.
as a police officer in the town of North Haven.
I agree to obey and be bound
I agree to obey and abound
by such rules and regulations
by such rules and regulations
as are or may be made
as are or may be made
from time to time
from time to time
established by the Board of Police Commissioners.
established by the Board of Police Commissioners.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Welcome to our family.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
There's a legacy here because Joe's father, Phil, is also a retired police officer from New Haven. So there's something going on in the family here. It's terrific to see this continue on. Who would like to pin?
My father will.
Phil?
Yeah, you can come in. You just missed it. We're just pinning the on and we started just a couple minutes early.
Your brothers.
Be careful, don't trip. Okay, guys. That thing is a pain, you know.
Yeah, congratulations. We got your back.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
With that being said, we'll take a short intermission for pictures,
Don't go too far.
et cetera, and we'll be back shortly. Okay, so we are back now in open session after having sworn in Joseph Schwab to be a patrolman for North Haven Police Department. So again, congratulations, Joe. I'll ask for the approval of the minutes from the December 19th, 2023 regular meeting and executive session, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any correspondences?
There is none, Mr. Chair.
Okay. That being said, I would just like to congratulate also for Chairman's Report the 3 graduates from Post. I'm sure the Chief will get into that. And compliment the Chief, the Deputy, and Community Services, and all those involved in the new autism program, and I'm sure he'll elaborate on that as well. I'm happy to see the bike program is going back into existence also. And just a sad note, I just wanted to express our condolences from myself and the entire board for the passing of Sue Gorrich, who was Walter Gorrich, who's our former First Selectman's wife, and John McKnight, who was a very active player in the community. So my condolences, our condolences to the McKnight family and the Gorrich family. And finally, as I do every month, I ask people just be diligent and lock your cars, your homes, your vehicles, your sheds, et cetera, et cetera. And with that being said, I'll turn it over to the Chief.
Thank you, and again, congratulations to Joe Schwab. Solid addition to our department, and he's a certified officer, so his onboarding as far as training will be quicker than a recruit officer, so we look forward to seeing him on the road by himself, hopefully about a month from now. Start with our budget report. At the end of December, we were at 48.1% expended, which is under our tracking limitations. Halfway through the fiscal year, so we're in good shape. And into January, we're also continue to stay in good shape. No large expenditures, so we're happy about that. Overall, as you can see in the reports, overtime is tracking high. The main driver, as you've heard me say before, is our dispatch overtime. We're short staff and dispatch, so that drives a lot of overtime, as well as the special duty details and crime suppression details that we're putting out on the overnight hours. Some of that's funded by grant money, but some of it comes from our overtime account. It's nothing we're gonna pull back on. I think it's something that's important. I think the commissioners would agree that's important and the community appreciates it. Also, you'll notice our training line is running high. I believe we're about 86% expended at this point in the year, which is higher than we'd like to be, but again, training is very important for obvious reasons, so that's not something that we're gonna pull back on. Next year's budget request has a proposed increase in the training line. And again, February 21st at 7:30 is our budget workshop. That's the scheduled time. Typically, we'll go on earlier, but as we get closer, we'll talk more about that. And the referendum is scheduled for May 21st. Does anybody have any questions after reviewing the packets and the budget for this month?
I do not.
So moving on to traffic, very brief report. Our traffic sergeant constantly evaluates the best places not only to conduct speed enforcement and traffic enforcement, but where to place our electronic speed signs. So those temporary signs that we put up that shows the vehicle speed in comparison with the speed limit. Two of the locations that we'd like to use are on state roads. So Department of Transportation asked for me to send a letter to them requesting approval to have that done. There's a number of different technical guidelines that I'll take care of. I'm just looking for a motion from the traffic authority for me to send a letter for approval to put electronic speed signs on Quinnipiac Avenue and Clintonville Road.
So
Okay.
moved.
The motion's made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We got to training and professional standards. You can refer to your reports. There's a lot of training that was conducted over the last month and a half. It's all outlined in detail there. We just finished 2 internal affairs investigations. Both resulted in minor discipline. I'll get into details in the executive session about those. We recently received the decision from the State Labor Board. This was an employee that I issued a 1-day suspension for. The union filed a grievance. We went to Weathersfield, sat through a hearing with the State Labor Board. They took their time and decided that the town prevailed on that. So we'll talk more in detail about that in executive session as well. We're in the process of a background investigation for one officer that the commission gave an offer of employment to. Again, we can talk more in detail in executive session. And still under professional standards, January is a busy time in regards to reporting, state reporting as well as CLIA accreditation reporting. So what has been submitted already to the state is our pursuit tracking report, our use of force report, and our TASER report. And for CLIA, we just completed an analysis of our early intervention system, and that's an annual review that we do every year, as well as CLIA's use of force report, which is has many more categories compared to the state's report, so it's much longer and more in depth. Under Uniform Standards Division, December was a very busy month, as you can see in your packet. You can see the correlation between cost for service and how that relates to written reports and accident reports. So at the end of the calendar year, we had 27,000, just a little over 27,000 calls for service compared to 28,000 from the previous year. It's a little dip in terms of overall calls for service, but we wrote 3,060 written reports compared to just 3,000 reports the previous year. 689 accident reports compared to 653 accident reports. We had an increase in motor vehicle stops overall last year. That was one of our priorities. So we were just under 2,000 motor vehicle stops compared to 1,600 the previous year. And the correlation there is citations are also up, infractions and summons for motor vehicle violations. Total arrests were up 419 last year compared to 368. Oddly enough, vehicle thefts were identical, 71 last year, 71 the year before. Vehicle burglaries were up at 284 compared to 214. And all larcenies, every category, larcenies combined, were slightly down last year compared to the previous year. So again, we continue to increase our staffing, especially on the overnight hours, using grant funding as well as our overtime funding to try and help with those stolen vehicles and vehicle burglaries, as well as the burglaries to garages that we've seen in the last couple months. We still continue to participate in the Violent Crime Task Force, which is for New Haven County. We have one officer assigned to that task force. We've had good results and it's low cost. And as the chairman stated, we started a bicycle unit. This is going to be for special details, parades, events, gatherings, but especially during the holiday season and typically when our shopping areas are busy, we're going to see those bike units out there. Refer to the Investigative Services Division report. A lot of the details that you have in front of you aren't really appropriate to talk about in open session, but I just wanted to note that they're very busy. They continue to be busier and busier, not only because the cost for service increasing, but the length of the investigations are increasing, they're becoming more complex. So we're short-staffed in ISD right now. We just had one detective come back from long-term injury. We reassigned one detective to uniform services to bridge the gap while we had other people out to help with staffing there. So the unit itself is short-staffed, but they're doing a great job. You can see some of the results in the report.
Yeah, I think I want to publicly give kudos to, they've solved a great many cases and they're doing a really, really good job.
Prior to executive session, Canary Scholarship, we have no requests this month.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Any questions? Comments? Okay. Well, that being said, I have a motion to go into executive session for personnel matters.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, we are back now in open session after coming out of executive session to discuss personnel. Any further business? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Meeting adjourned.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.